As it heads down the backstretch, the field, Wagner on the first row on the inside. Here they come. Base guard pulling in. Wagner coming out. Rubeck alongside. Here it is. The green flag, and we're racing. Rubeck takes the lead on the outside down the backstretch, followed by Wagner and Hacker. Wagner and Hacker looking to pursue that first lap, but Steve Rubeck is your leader. Rubeck down the backstretch in the first spot. Wagner, Hacker, followed by Wilberg in the 98.5, Jerry Guiley, Ricky Bilderback. Rubeck heading down the backstretch. Here comes Steve Rubeck down the first row. Rubeck, Wagner, followed by Hacker in the 13 car. The white flag is about to come out for Steve Rubeck. Steve Rubeck, sponsored by Fox 39. On the white flag lap, Rubeck brings the field down the backstretch. Now a challenge on the inside of Hacker on Wagner. Hacker and Wagner battling it out for that second spot. But here comes your eventual winner, Steve Rubeck. Yeah, all right. Really good to hear the roar of the motors here at the Rockford Speedway. Another year of fifth. Alongside Rob Wagner is Tim Lose. Here they come out of turn number 4. We're racing. Lose and Wagner battling down the backstretch side by side, door handle to door handle. Here comes George Bone, car number 6 on the outside. Looks to take over that second spot. Tim Melvin, Jesse Havens in the 41 car, followed by Brent McCoy in the 39. Here comes Bone. Bone on the inside of Tim Lose. They're close, out of turn number 4. George Bone on the inside. George Bone and Tim Lose battling it side by side, wheel to wheel, and door handle through turns number 3 and 4. What racing action we have, race fans, as the Brighton Ford Trophy Dash for the American Short Trackers about to unfold and go into the history books here at the Rockford Speedway. George Bone takes over the lead coming out of turn number 4. Here comes Tim Melvin. Melvin on the inside of Lose. Melvin looking to take over the second spot. Tim Melvin down the backstretch. One more lap to go as the white flag is out. Your leader, George Bone. George Bone heads into turn number 3. He looks up, he sees the flag waving in the air. George Bone, your first victor of tonight. Whoa, looks like the American Short Tracker Division, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be very competitive. George Bone returning to the high bank quarter mile track of the Rock. It's called the Winston Racing Series in the Grand National Sportsman Division. Let's watch them. Thank you very much. Here they come. Somebody's lagging behind. I don't think we'll get the green flag. Nope, we're not up to speed. We're not side by side. Scott Lawver dropping back a little bit. So our starter, Tom Powell, will tell him to pull up alongside the 52 car of John Cromwell. Daryl Garman pulls up behind Cromwell. April Reimer tucks in. Warren Thurn begins to tuck in. And we'll look at our starter, Tom Powell. He'll hold up the 1 lap to go before the green flag drops. These drivers will see that, and they'll make their run to the checkered flag. There he is, telling the drivers, stay side by side. Lawver and Cromwell, it's their responsibility to bring the field around. Okay, they look real good down the backstretch at a slow pace. They'll begin to pick up by that Erickson Metals wall sign there just as they come into turn number 3. Here they come, Lawver and Cromwell. Lawver and Cromwell brings the field around. They come out of turn number 4, and we're green flag racing. Out of turn number 1 and 2, it's Lawver by a nose. Cromwell pulls up alongside as they head into turn number 3. Lawver on the inside, Cromwell on the outside. Whoa, Mike Martindale spins and hits the inside retaining wall. Could bring out the yellow flag, and it does. The yellow flag is out, slowing down the field as Mike Martindale gets a little loose out of turn number 4 and gives a look. Warren Thuring went down into the pit. This evening's fast qualifier in the Grand National Sportsman Division. The lights go back on the Pack Rope Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. So that'll be one more lap. Let's hope that, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Zero Hero. Cromwell apparently dropping to the rear of the field, apparently having some mechanical problems. We'll wait to see what his outcome of this race will be. Scott Lawver still holds down the lead. Daryl Garman now moves up into the second spot with April Reimer in the 105.9 car in the 3rd position. Here they come. The pace car dives into the inside. Out of turn number 4 comes Scott Lawver, and we're racing once again. Scott Lawver down the backstretch. Daryl Garman in car number 60 holds down the 2nd spot. Here comes Thuring. Thuring making a charge on the inside to take over that 4th spot of Mike Martindale. Scott Lawver still your leader down the backstretch. It's Daryl Garman. Here comes Thuring in the Zero Hero car, putting pressure on April Reimer in the 105.9. Scott Lawver still your leader. Out of turn number 2 they come once again. Our starter, Tom Powell, reaches for the white flag. It's Lawver, Garman, April Reimer, and Thuring battling out for the 3rd spot. Cromwell has a hood flopping in the wind there. Warren Thuring takes over the 3rd spot. Thuring taking over the 3rd. Here comes Scott Lawver to take the checkered flag. Whoa, what a race. Scott Lawver takes the victory in the Bryden Ford Grand National Sportsman Trophy Dash, with Daryl Garman coming in 2nd, and the Zero Hero of Warren Thuring pulls off the 3rd spot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Trophy Dash for the Roadrunners. They have to maintain no faster than 18 seconds, so watch the clock. The Budweiser clock is going to keep them going. As the field comes down the backstretch, we'll try to pick them up as they go on down. Your current leader, car number 42 of Gilbert Brewer Jr. Gilbert Brewer Jr. holds down the lead. Ron Stoltz in car number 147 is in the 2nd spot. The 109 of David Lignell in the 3rd spot. Here comes the 100 car of Paul Urlacher. Paul Urlacher on the inside. Ron Stoltz takes over the lead coming out of turn 4. Brewer in 2nd. Paul Urlacher making a hard charge on the inside. Whoa, look out wall for the 87 car. That's Brian Lawson in 87 car. John Harris in the 51 down on the inside. Ron Stoltz still your leader. Here comes Urlacher on the inside, looking to take over that 2nd spot. Urlacher in the 100 car, a very hard number to read from this vantage point, but Ron Stoltz still your leader in the 147. Look at this battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. Dan Lignell in the 110 on the inside. Here comes Harris on the inside, real low. They're 3 wide coming down the front stretch. Look out, look out, look out. 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Somebody has to give. Here it is, Paul Urlacher Down low, trying to take over lead. Here comes Harris. They're 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Paul Urlacher takes over the lead coming out of turn number 2. Now in the second spot at the 110 car of Dan Lignell. Here comes Harris now. Harris on the inside again. Harris, Urlacher, Harris, Urlacher. Whoa! One more lap to go. Anything could go here. Harris down on the inside, pressuring Urlacher. Urlacher and Harris. Harris and Urlacher. Out of turn number 4 they come, side by side. And it's Paul Urlacher. Paul Urlacher having the horsepower out of turn number 4. And the 100 car out of Loves Park, Illinois, pulls off the victory here in the Brian 4. Jeff Pinkston on the outside of Kelly Bryden. Kelly Bryden gets the green flag and we're racing. Eddie Sauer looks on the inside of Kelly Bryden. Bryden overtakes her. She drop backs into the 5th spot, and the 44 car of Jeff Pinkston takes over the lead. Here comes the 26 car in the 2nd spot. That's Eddie Sauer. Gary Lose and Billy McCoy are battling out for that 3rd spot. Here comes McCoy on the outside. He's hooked up on the outside groove. Billy McCoy in the 97 ZOK car. Jeff Pinkston still your leader. Eddie Sauer and Jeff Pinkston side by side. Pinkston up high, McCoy down low, trying to take over that 1st spot. Here comes Billy McCoy. Billy McCoy out of turn number 4. Eddie Sauer drops down into the 2nd spot. Gary Lose in the 65 car in the 3rd spot as Pinkston drops down low. Here comes David Pouch on the inside to take over the 4th position. Billy McCoy beginning to pull away from the field. Billy McCoy coming out of turn number 4 as your leader. Then the 26 car of Eddie Sauer. Then Gary Lose in 65, David Pouch in the 23, holding down the 4th position. Here they come once again. Brent McCoy, your leader. We're looking for 10 laps for this heat race. Here comes Billy McCoy as he looks ahead. 3 more laps to go. 3 more laps to go for Billy McCoy. Kelly Bryden could pose to be a little slower traffic for Brent McCoy. Let's watch McCoy as he comes out. Kelly Bryden gets the move over flag, telling her to move down low as a faster car is approaching. Billy McCoy on the outside of Bryden. Bryden drops down and out of competition. Billy McCoy gets the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Our starter, Tom Powell, has the checkered flag in hand. It goes out to the car number 97 of Billy McCoy. Eddie Sauer in 2nd, Gary Lose in 3rd, and David Pouch in 4th. And the rest of the field comes by of Jeff Pinkston and the 77 car. Here they come, Brent McCoy in 39, and rounding out the field is George Bone in the 6 car. Down the front stretch they come, and we're racing. Dave Wagner in the 55 car down the backstretch. Here comes Kerry Graves in the 103 on the outside. They're side by side, door handle to door handle. Dave Wagner, your leader after 1 completed lap. 9 to go. Dave Wagner, boys, back from the fence. Kerry Graves holds down the 2nd spot. Here's the battle. Tim Lose in the 93 on the inside. Bobby Lapierre trying to split him through turn number 2. Dave Wagner still your leader. Kerry Graves. Here comes Jesse Havens. Havens in the 41 car. Havens on the outside, looking to take over that second spot. Dropping into the infield is Tim Lowson, the 93. Dave Wagner in the 55 car still holds down the lead. Kerry Graves in the 103 in the second spot. Here comes Tim Melvin on the inside. Tim Melvin on the inside of Havens. Bobby Lapierre drops back into the 5th spot. Here comes Wagner. Graves on the inside, gets a little loose. We're 6 laps into this 10-lap heat race. Dropping off the pace now in the 39 cars, Brent McCoy picks it back up, however. Look out, turn number 2, they're 3 wide. Here comes Tim Melvin, all the way from the back of the field, takes over the second spot. Can he fight off Kerry Graves? Kerry Graves and Melvin looking for the battle. Here comes Graves. Graves on the outside, Melvin on the inside. Wagner holds his line. Wagner comes out of turn number 4. They're side by side. Look out, here we go. A shootout at sundown right now. Here they come out of turn number 3, side by side. It's Melvin and Wagner. Melvin and Wagner. This is going to be a close one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's follow them as they go down the backstretch. Melvin and Wagner into turn number 3. They're side by side. Who's going to get the bite? Here they come. Oh! Unofficially, and I'm the most unofficial official around here, in fact, dead last, I do believe, and don't you agree, perhaps car number 55 was the victor. Need some white trim around his numbers would make it a little bit easier. In the 35 is Swinbank. That's Butch Swinbank out of Rockford, Illinois, in his good-looking car. And then Ralph Harris in the 151 car, and our pace car comes through the course, kind of show the boys what to do as they're going to come through, and still the yellow is out. The Roadrunner Challenge. And at the end of the year, the champion will not only get a little bit of cash, but also get this huge, I mean huge, 7-foot trophy. And it's beautiful. Roadrunner Challenge. So these guys vying for some important hardware that'll look good up on their trophy wall, or I should say their trophy floor. Am I right? That'll go from floor to ceiling, 7 foot, basically. Well, let's try to pick up the rest of the field. Charlie Fritsch in the number 11 car doing a nice job over the winter months preparing that car. And in the 54, that's Todd Aschenbrenner out of Rochelle, Illinois. And in the 77 car, that's James Gregory, a new driver to the Rockford Speedway. And I want to say this is, yep, that's not Sherry, but that's her husband, the driver of car number 44. I want to say Robichard, but I know that's not right. That's Lundberg, and that's Tom Lundberg driving car number 44. Sherry Lundberg is his wife. Last year she was Sherry Robichard. They got married, meeting out here. Here they come out of turn number 4, the green flag. Let's watch them as they got to do some crisscrossing. The first lap is completed with them going in formation. Now as they come around, they got to dive through these cones. Watch them. They don't want to be side by side. Who's going to give? Watch them, the Roadrunner Challenge. Hey, 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 hey. Watch them. On the brakes they are. Look out, look out, look out. The 77 car gets the black flag. Here they come down the backstretch. Out of turn number 3 and 4. It's Paul Erlacher and Harris as they begin to go single file. Whoa, bring back my cone. Charlie Fritsch got the cone underneath his car. Paul Urlacher coming out of turn number 4, takes the high line. Harris takes the low line. They're zigging and zagging. Harris on the inside looking to take over Urlacher. Urlacher having a little horsepower. Comes out of turn number 4. Watch them, they're side by side. Look out, look out, look out. Oh. Boy, when they cross over, they're just inches away. Harris on the inside now. Urlacher on the outside. Watch him now. Watch him as they come through turns 3 and 4. Look out. Oh, just missing. Both these drivers a veteran of this race. Paul Urlacher and John Harris in the 51 car, battling it down the backstretch. Just a couple more laps to go as they come back through the front stretch, crossing the start-finish line. And Dan Lignell in the 110 holds down the 3rd spot very firmly. The white flag is out for Urlacher. Oh, look out, Harris had to put on the binders. Paul Urlacher still your leader down the backstretch. Takes it over down the backstretch, nice. As they come through, here comes Harris. Harris on the inside, can't pull it off. The checkered flag goes out for Paul Urlacher. The Roadrunner Challenge goes into the history book. Excuse me, welcome. Sorry. In the 88, followed by Carrie Lovelace, Misty Igmaholtz, 2 ladies in this race. Here they come out of turn number 4, and the green flag, and we're racing. Schinderling and Schiltz, side by side. Schiltz pulls out the early lead going down the backstretch. Look at them, 3 wide down the front. Special on the inside of Schiltz. Special on the inside. Taking over the lead is Schiltz down the backstretch. Watch him, watch him, watch him. Oh, look out, Special, a little loose. Hang on. Carrie Lovelace takes over the 3rd. Johnny Robinson on the inside. Robinson in the 88 car down the backstretch. They cross the start-finish line side by side, dead even. Johnny Robinson in the 88 down the backstretch takes over the lead. Here comes Lovelace in the 55. Carrie Lovelace on the 55 on the inside. Dropping off the pace is Misty Igmaholtz and Bob Jackson in the 24 car. Here comes Johnny Robinson. Robinson, the Ridge Runner, out of turn number 4. Carrie Lovelace in the 55 car holds down the 2nd spot. And then Schiltz in the 20 car. Ron Schiltz in the 20 in the 3rd spot. Carrie Lovelace in the 55 car in the 2nd spot. And the white flag is coming out to your leader, Johnny Robinson in the 88 car. Robinson a little loose coming out of turn number 2. Gathers it back up. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Johnny, the Ridge Runner Robinson. Takes the checkered flag with Carrie Lovelace in the 2nd spot in the 55 car. And Ron Schiltz in the 20 car holds down the 3rd spot. And Art Special takes home the 4th position with Richland Schinderling in the 68, bringing up the rear of the field, so to speak, in the 5th spot. And here they come out of turn number 4. We're racing. Doug Bennett on the inside. April Reimer in the 105 on the outside. Daryl Garman in the 60 car down the backstretch holds down the 3rd spot. Martindale and Cromwell side by side out of turn number 4. Warren Thuring looking for his opportunity. April Reimer in the 105 takes over the lead into turn number 3. Doug Bennett a little loose coming out of turn number 4, allows Garmin to pull up alongside and challenge for the 2nd spot. Look out, Bennett on the loose, look out! Oh, barely missed by Warren Thuring. Does a nice job braking to avoid the spinning Doug Bennett. And that'll bring out the yellow flag. Doug Bennett getting a little loose coming out of turn number 4. Avoided contact with Doug Bennett, especially Warren Thuring and John Cromwell. Turn number 4 comes April Reimer in the 105.9 car as she's under green flag. Out of turn number 2 they come. It's Reimer. Daryl Garman in the 60 car holds down the 2nd spot. In the 3rd spot is the 52, John Cromwell. Warren Thuring in the 4th spot looking for his opportunity. Down on the inside goes Thuring, challenging on the inside of Cromwell. Here comes the leader, 105.9 of April Reimer. Daryl Garman on the inside challenging. They're going side by side, door handle to door handle into turn number 1. Watch them as they head out. Oh, Garman, or Cromwell and Thuring touch down the backstretch. The white flag is out for April Reimer in the 105.9. Scott Lawver, look out! We got a problem down the backstretch. They're 3 wide. Daryl Garman and John Cromwell side by side. They bump, they rub, they crash. Oh no, look out! And the checkered flag is going to go out to the 52 car of John Cromwell. John Cromwell mixing it up out of turn number 2, down the backstretch and in through turns 3 and 4. Wilberg, and then Brad Wagner in car number 23 alongside him. And bringing up the field, Jeff Watson in the 105.9 car. And alongside him is our fast qualifier for this evening's late models is Ricky the Rocket Bilderback in the 4th row on the outside. Look for Bilderback to make a charge to the front early so that he can dominate this particular heat race. And the field beginning to form up nicely. Down the backstretch, Graves and DeBarb. He holds down the front row. It'll be their responsibility to maintain that. Here they come out of turns 3 and 4. It's Graves and DeBarb. The green flag is waved. We're racing. Steve DeBarb in the 97 CLK car out to an early lead into turn number 3. Here comes Bagwell in the number 8 car holding down the 2nd spot. Bagwell, then it's Wagner in the 23. Here comes Ricky the Rocket Bilderback up 4 positions from lap number 1. Bilderback in the 02. Then it's the 98.5 of Wilberg. Graves and Smickey battle it out for the 5th position, 5th and 6th position. Steve DeBarb in the 97, your leader. Bagwell still holding down the 2nd spot on the outside, but here comes Wagner on the inside. Wagner in the 23 on the inside. Bilderback on the outside challenging for the 3rd position. Wagner in low. Bagwell up high. Here comes Bilderback. Bilderback pulls it up into 3rd spot. Still your leader, Steve DeBarb. Steve DeBarb in the 97 COK. Bagwell in the number 8 out of turn number 4 holds down the 2nd spot. Bilderbeck now taking a look on the inside of Bagwell. Bilderbeck and Bagwell battling it for second. DeBarb still hanging on to the lead. Brad Wagner in the 5th position. Wilberg in 4th. Bilderbeck in 3rd. Bagwell in 2nd, and your leader Steve DeBarb in the 97 COK car. And coming along behind them, that group is Graves in the 31, Smicky in the 3, and Watson in the 105. DeBarb has it hooked up down the backstretch. Bagwell in pursuit. Here comes Bilderbeck once again, trying to tuck up into 2nd spot. Ricky Bilderbeck on the inside out of turn number 2, now into 3 through turns 4. Here comes Wilberg in the 98.5 car taking over the 3rd spot. Looks like the white flag is about to come out to bring this heat race to one more lap to go. It's DeBarb, Bagwell, Wilberg. Out of turn number 4 they come. One more lap to go. Into turn number 4 comes DeBarb. Out of 4 he comes, sees the checkered flag. It's DeBarb, Bagwell, and Wilberg in that order, with Wagner falling into the 4th position and Bilderbeck in 5th. And rounding out the field is Graves, Smicky, and Watson. That will. So watch them as they come into turn number 3. The lights are off the pace car. Out of turn number 3, Johnson gets a little jump and a lazy green flag. I think that's going to bring out the caution flag, ladies and gentlemen, for the front runners were not side by side. And the yellow is out, and that'll slow down the field, and they'll regroup. Okay, our starter, Tom Powell, has informed the drivers, okay, boys, we want you coming across to the green flag here, side by side, nose to nose, and then I'll drop a real hard green flag and we'll go. When you see Tom give a lazy green flag, that's to keep the field moving. Then he'll take the second half of the field and slow them down. And once again, Johnson takes the green flag. Apparently, Hansberry not coming up to speed at the time of the flag, and we're still green flag racing. So Brian Johnson in the 38 car is your leader. Hansberry in 2nd, his first late model race for the 1997 season. Here comes a Hacker on the inside of Hansberry. Hansberry fights back on the outside, holds down the 3rd spot. Here comes Rubeck, your 2nd fastest qualifier of the evening, on the inside of Hansberry. It's Johnson. Hacker now looks on the inside of Johnson. Hansberry on the outside of Rubeck. Rubeck in the 39 car on the inside. Here comes Jerry Guiley in the number 99 on the outside, holding down the 5th spot. Hacker working on Johnson. Hacker on the inside of Johnson. Johnson has the horsepower down the backstretch. No, but here comes Hacker again. Through the turns they come. It's Johnson, Hacker, Rubeck, and Hansberry. Still challenging for that lead out of turn number 4. They're nose to nose coming across the start-finish line. It's Hacker and Johnson. Hacker and Johnson down the backstretch. Hacker takes over the lead. Here comes Rubeck on the inside. Steve Rubeck on the inside, challenging for that 2nd spot. Brian Johnson drops back into the 3rd position. Here comes Jerry Guiley now, fighting on the inside of Johnson as the 103 is told to pull over on the inside because faster cars are rapidly coming behind you. Here comes Hacker. Hacker down the backstretch. Then it's Rubeck in the 39 car, followed by Jerry Guiley and Brian Johnson as Hansberry's dropped back into the 5th position. The field begins to stretch out. No challenge for position as Bobby Hacker takes the another lap under his belt. Here comes Rubeck in the 39 with Jerry Guiley really pushing hard down the backstretch, wanting to take over that second spot. Here comes Guiley on the inside now. Guiley challenging Rubeck for that second spot. Rubeck up high, Guiley down low, down the backstretch. Rubeck gives way to Guiley for the second spot. The white flag is out for Bobby Hacker. One more lap to go. Here comes Bobby Hacker. Hacker out of turn number 4 to get the checkered flag. A good race for the NASCAR late models. Okay, take out your ticket stubs. We'll read a couple numbers off here and go down and see Terry. Yeah, we don't know what's happening down there. It looks like the field kind of strung out there. No green flag was dropped. The yellow is out. Our starter, Tom Powell, has some sorting out to do in the field as the Roadrunners trying to get organized here to compete in their heat race. Car number 3, Kevin Collins, is in the front row with car number 4, Lundberg, Tom Lundberg, in the 44. And in the 43 car is Morris, Frank Morris in the 43. And then I believe it's the 151 of, nope, stand to be corrected, that's John Harris. And in the 42 comes Gilbert Brewer Jr. in the 42, and then Swinbank in the 35, and then Ron Schultz in the 147, and in the 87, that's Brian Lawson, and then the 109 of Dave Lignell, and then Beyer in 75, that's Leroy Beyer. And the green flag is out, and Collins and Lundberg race to the first turn, and Collins takes over the lead down the backstretch as Lundberg drops back into the 4th position with Harris falling in 2nd and Swinbank dropping into 3rd. Look out, Harris a little loose into turn 3. Here comes Collins, still your leader after 1 lap, but watch Harris and Swinbank. Morris drops into the inside, apparently having some mechanical problems. Here comes Collins once again in car number 3, still your leader. Then Harris, then Swinbank, and then Stoltz in the 147 car. Ron Stoltz in this 147 holds down the 4th spot. Look at the challenge now by Harris on the inside of Collins. Harris on the inside of Collins out of turn number 4. They're side by side. Pretty soon I'll bet you they'll make it 3 wide out of turn number 2. Watch them as they head on down the backstretch. Harris and Collins. Swinbank, you can throw a blanket over those 3 cars. They're 3 wide into turn number 3. Still your leader is Kevin Collins in the 3. Goes up high, allowing Harris to pull down on the inside and move up just a smidgen. Harris and Collins battling it for the lead. Swinbank looking for his opportunity to take over the lead. Watch him now. Harris takes over the lead down the backstretch of Collins. Can Collins fight him off out on the outside? A slower car, Frank Morris in the 43. Look for Harris. Watch Harris as he heads on down the backstretch. In the 2nd spot is Collins. Swinbank in 3rd. Now remember, these guys cannot go faster than 18 seconds. Watch them now. Here they go. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. And the victor goes to John. John Harris has 1 more lap to go. Here comes Collins on the inside now. Harris must have known that. Look out, Swinbank and Stoltz rubbing into turns number 3. Watch it, they're side by side. They're exchanging paint. There's the checkered. It goes out to John Harris. In second spot is Kevin Collins. And the 35 car of Swinbank holds down the 3rd position. And Harris awaiting to get the checkered flag. And we're green flag racing. Car number 110 of Dan Lignell. Look out, into the wall he goes. Who is that? Look out. That was car number 70, I do believe. That's Tim Wilson out of Beloit, Wisconsin. Tim climbing the wall. Tim Wilson up on the wall, up on 3 wheels. Look out, Tim. Pit group to Landstar Inway can coolers, and we're green flag racing. We're back to green flag racing. Here they come into turn number 3. It's Lignell and Dobbs. Dobbs in number 5, Lignell in the 110. Watch it now, they're side by side down into turn number 3. Derek Dobbs in the 5 takes over the lead from the 110 car of Dan Lignell. Watch it now, they cannot go faster than 18 seconds in the Roadrunner division. As Derek Dobbs slows down, Charlie Fritsch on the inside of Dobbs. Now they come through turn 4, side by side. Watch the clock, they're in good shape as they cross 18.5. Fritsch and Derek Dobbs rubbing paint as they head on out of turn number 2. Through turn 3 and 4 comes Dobbs. Dobbs takes over the lead out of turn number 4. Then Charlie Fritsch and Dan Lignell in the 110, and then Harris in the 151. Watch them as they come out of turn number 4. Still your leader, Derek Dobbs. Derek Dobbs. Now here comes Lignell in the 110 challenge on the inside of Fritsch. Charlie Fritsch in the number 11 car, holding down the second spot, or trying to, as Lignell in the 110 challenges for the second position. Here's your leader, car number 5 of Derek Dobbs. Derek Dobbs, let's watch the clock. I'm sure he's aware of it. This could prove interesting. Here comes the second and third place cars. They pull up behind Derek Dobbs out of turn number 4. The checkered flag in hand. And Derek Dobbs is your winner in the number 5 car. Derek Dobbs hails out of Loves Park, Illinois. He's driving a 1977 Chevy El Camino. All right, that's it. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful sight from up here in the tower as the drivers salute back to you, our great racing fans. Next time around, race fans, we'll go one more lap to go. The lights will come out. Okay, Southside, why don't you salute these guys as they parade in front of you? That's it. I see 1, 2, lots of you raising your hands. Thank you very much. All right. In the history of the Grand National Sportsman Division, we have not one, but 2 lady drivers. You're about ready to see history as it happens on the 50th year of running here at the Rockford Speedway. Let's pick up the field once again. Ridge Runner Robinson, Johnny Ridge Runner Robinson on the inside. 3 ladies. We have 3 ladies. That's even more better. Yeah. All right, here we go. And turn number 3. They power up. It's Johnny Robinson coming out of turn number 4 with Kerry Lovelace. Watch him now as they head into turn number 1. 20 laps. As they shake out of turn number 2, it's going to be Lovelace leading down the backstretch. Kerry Lovelace could lead the first feature lap for the 1997 Goes Out to a Lady. She does. Out of turn number 2, it's Lovelace, Robinson, Bennett, April Reimer on the outside of Bennett. Mike Martindale on the inside. Bennett slides up high. April Reimer goes near the wall. Cromwell loses a goose into turn number 1. Scott Lauber fighting on the inside of April Reimer in the 105.9. Still your leader in the 55 car, Kerry Lovelace. Then Johnny Robinson. Then Bennett and Martindale side by side as they come past the start-finish line. Still your leader, Kerry Lovelace. Then Johnny Robinson in the 88. Mike Martindale right on his tail in the 3rd position. Scott Lauber in the 12 and holds down the 4th spot. Here comes Cromwell on the inside in the 52. Bennett drops off the pace goes up near the wall but stays away from it. Here comes Daryl Garman in the 60 car. Still your leader, Kerry Lovelace. Whoa, look out, they touch as they come near the start-finish line. Martindale and Lovelace making contact as they come through the start-finish line. They're side by side. Martindale takes over the lead into the turn number 3. Here comes Lauber. Mike Martindale, your leader, Bud 6 Series leader, as he heads on down the backstretch. Scott Lauber in 2nd. Kerry Lovelace drops back into 3rd. John Cromwell in the 52 holds down the 4th spot. Johnny Robinson in 5th. Mike Martindale, 98.5. Your leader, Scott Lauber in 2nd. Now the challenge from Cromwell into the 3rd position. Cromwell moves it up into the 3rd spot. Lovelace drops back into the 4th position. We're halfway mark of this 20-lap feature event. 10 laps in, 10 laps to go. Whoa, look out! Thiering comes in contact with Bennett. Thiering has a flat right tire. Right front tire is flat on Warren Thiering. Tough break for Warren Thiering as he had no place to go as Bennett gets loose coming out of turn number 4 and crosses right in front of Thiering. Tough break for Warren Thiering as he was beginning to make that last half charge. And with that creative silk screen and design, as the caution or the lights are off our pace car, here comes Mike Martindale out of turn number 4. We'll get the green flag and we're racing. Martindale down the backstretch. Whoa, we got several cars into it. April Reimer, Ron Schultz, and Rich Schinderling in the 68 is going to bring out the caution as 2 cars went up into the wall and Schinderling had nowhere to go, crashes hard into April Reimer in the 105.9. Our safety crew immediately over to check out the condition of both drivers. Rich Schinderling in the 68 and April Reimer in the 105.9 come hard together. The 2 car holds down the 3rd spot with Kerry Lovelace in the 4th position and Daryl Garman right in behind her in the 60 car. Watch them as they come out of turn number 3 and 4 now. The green flag is in the air and we're racing once again. Mike Martindale pulls out over a lead. Here comes John Cromwell in the 52 car to challenge the 12 car. Whoa, look out, Lovelace.
A little loose, but hangs on. Watch this battle between Cromwell and Lawver. Cromwell and Lawver battling it down the backstretch side by side. Still your leader, Mike Martindale. Cromwell gets sideways, fishtails it through, lose a lot of valuable real estate. And, whoa, Carrie Lovelace spins out in turn number 4, brings it back into the track. She wants those points. Martindale, Lawver, Cromwell, and comes John Robinson in the 88. Oh, look. Carrie Lovelace gets tagged in the backside. She pulls it down on the inside and into the infield. It could bring out the caution, and Cromwell takes over the second spot from Scott Lawver. Problem causing her to lose power into turn number 2 as lights are off the back rope Pontiac Grand Prix pace car as it dives down into turn. Look for Martindale to get a jump on Cromwell as they come out of turn number 4. The green flag is waved, and that's what he does. Mike Martindale pulls out to a sizable lead. Into turn number 4 comes Martindale. Look out, Martindale, a little loose. Cromwell, uh-oh, I heard a big pop. Could be a tire blown. Doesn't look like anybody's slowing down, however. The white flag comes out for Mike Martindale. In second is John Cromwell. In third is Scott Lawver. Then Art Special, and moving up real fast is Warren Thiering. However, Thiering down several laps, trying to make up every spot he can as he's really on the move now. The checkered comes out for Mike Martindale, John Cromwell and Scott Lawver, and then Art Special in the 4th position. Not a bad feature race for the NASCAR Grand National Sportsmen as they had their first feature event of the 1997 racing season. And have a few minutes with him as we prepare to go to the next feature event. Thank you. Martindale. Mike, congratulations to you and your pit crew. It seems like you had this race well under control right from the start. To these drivers as they come around the start-finish line once again. All right, let's wave. Let's salute these guys, ladies and gentlemen. The American short trackers. Saluting back to you, that's it. Wave those checkered flags, wave your racing hat as they wave back to you as Dave Wagner and Kerry Graves salute you in the front row as the rest of the field follows through. We're waving back to them, they're waving back to you. One more time around, ladies and gentlemen, then we'll get the white or the 1-lap signal from our starter, Tom Powell, who will turn this field loose next time around after that. Watch the Pontiac pace car. It will turn off the lights on top, and that'll signal to all the drivers 1 more lap to go, and then we'll go green flag racing for 20 laps in the NASCAR American Short Tracker Bud Big 6 Series feature. Tom Powell telling the field 1 more lap to go. Dave Wagner on the pole on the inside. One of the drivers to watch. Obviously, he pulled off a big victory earlier this evening. Let's watch him as the field now begins to bunch up through turns 3 and 4. They'll accelerate out. Watch it, Dave Wagner in the 55 car brings them out along with Kerry Graves, side by side as they cross the start-finish line. A beautiful start. Dave Wagner out to an early lead down the backstretch. Kerry Graves on the outside, fights back. Tim Lose in the 93 holds down the third spot. Out of turn number 4 they come. Jesse Havens on the move on the outside of Lose, or at least trying to get on the outside. Bobby Lapierre in the 76 on the inside, Bone on the loose. Good save by him as the drivers made their way past. Your new leader, car number 103, Kerry Graves. Kerry Graves wants this victory big time. Watch Kerry Graves in the 103. Dave Wagner in the second spot. Kerry Graves in the 103, your leader. Wagner in second. Here comes Lapierre on the inside of Wagner. Tim Melvin in the 98.5 in the fourth spot. Kerry Graves still your leader. Watch them as they come through out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. They're side by side and wheel to wheel. Bobby Lapierre in second. Tim Melvin in third. Dave Wagner fights on the outside of Melvin. Now drops back into the fourth spot. In the fifth spot is Tim Lose. And Kelly Brighton drops off the pace down on the inside. We're 5 laps into this 20-lap feature event. Kerry Graves still your leader. Kerry Graves still your leader. Then Jeff. Bobby Lapierre in second with Tim Melvin in third. Kerry Graves still your leader as they come out of turn number 4 as the field begins to stretch out. Safford in car number 10 slows down into the inside, drops off the pace big time. Bobby Lapierre, you're challenging on the inside of Graves. Graves wants this feature. Kerry Graves in the 103, still your leader. As she tries to run away and hide from this field, here comes Bobby Lapierre on the inside of Graves, but just can't pull it off. Jesse Havens in the 41 car wants to pull away from that group, but they're right on his tail, side by side and wheel to wheel. Kerry Graves still your leader in the 103. Oh, we got a car into the wall, but he has it back under control. It was Wagner. Wagner in the 36 brushed up against the wall. Looks like everything is okay as he continues. Rob Wagner. Kerry Graves at the better than halfway mark, still your leader in the 103. Down the backstretch, Kerry Graves into turn number 3. Then it's Lapierre, then Tim Melvin, then Dave Wagner in the 55 car, dropping into the infield in the car number 2 of Kelly Brighton. Kelly Brighton out of the race. Hang on, boys and girls. We're about ready for a shootout with 5 more laps to go. Watch him now. Jesse Havens working on Wagner out of turn number 4. Kerry Graves, Lapierre, Melvin. And look at this battle for the 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's Graves, Lapierre, and Melvin. Whoa, look out, Wagner, hang on. Jesse Havens hard into the wall. Also spinning into turn number 1 is the 55 car of Dave Wagner getting a loose coming out of turn number 4. Now it was Haven's turn, had nowhere to go, went hard into the car sponsored by Northwestern University.
Laps to go. Kerry Graves, your leader, with Bobby Lapierre in the 76 car holding down the second spot. Tim Melvin holds down the third, and George Bone in car number 6 in the 4th position. Here they come out of turn number 3 and 4. Kerry Graves coming around. Whoa, look out, Lapierre. It's a dash. Kerry Graves down the backstretch, looking for her first victory of the 1997. One more lap to go for Kerry Graves. Kerry Graves, car number 103, down the backstretch. Lapierre in second, George Bone in third, Billy McCoy in fourth. Here she comes, ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Graves. As the rest of the field comes across the start-finish line, but having this feature event well in hand, ladies and gentlemen, is the lady driver, the driver of car number 103. Ladies and gentlemen, a real big round of applause for the driver of the 103 car, Kerry Graves. Yeah, she is very, very ecstatic. Kerry, congratulations to you, my dear. I'm sure this victory is very, very important to you. I'm just going to leave an open question
Next to the last time. Let's salute the late models, the drivers of the late model division here at the Rockford Speedway. You can watch them every week, every Saturday night. And more cars are going to come our way as the season unfolds. We'll pick up the rest of the field for you. Oh, there's a salute in turn number 1 for the late models for the 50th running of the Rockford Speedway. Let's resume with the field. In the next row, car number 02, that's Ricky Bilderback. Alongside Ricky is Bob Hansberry in the 95. Then we pick up Steve DeBarb in the 97 car. Alongside Steve is the 38 of Brian Johnson. And then rounding out the field is Tom Graves in the 31. And also in the 103, or excuse me, the 103 of Justin Manning. And then Jeff Watson brings up the tail as the pace car begins to pick up the speed. And Ron Smickey begins to pick up the Grand Prix back rope pace car. Tom Powell telling the front 2 cars to use their heads, stay together side by side and wheel to wheel, and we'll get a good green flag start. Ron Smickey on the pole on the inside in car number 3, that beautiful yellow looking car with the white blue trim. Into turn number 3 they come out, into and out, into 4 they come. They're hard on the throttle. We're green flag racing as Ron Smickey takes an early lead into turn number 1. Matt Milan on the outside drops into the 2nd spot. Bobby Hacker holds down the 3rd spot with Brian Bagwell into the 4th position. Bobby Wilberg, last year's track champion, challenging on the inside of Bagwell. Bagwell fighting hard on the outside, still your leader, Ron Smickey. Ron Smickey in the 3 car is your leader. Matt Milan, the rookie out of Roscoe, in 2nd. Bobby Hacker in 3rd in the 13 car. As we're 2 laps into this 40-lap feature event. A long ways to go. Let's see how it shakes out. Out of turn number 4 comes Smickey. We got 3 cars sideways, 2 cars Avoiding that one was Ricky Bilderbeck in the 0-2. Hard into the wall goes to the 103 car, just grazes it down on the inside is Tom Graves in the 31 car. And every feature event here at the Rockford Speedway is very, very important to each and every one of these drivers. And especially for the Bud Big Six Series races. These points are very valuable to them, and they earn some big cash for that. Hey, and if you'd like to be a sponsor on one of these race cars, stop down and talk to the drivers, or if you want to see your name up on the wall sponsor, stop down and see John Fisher. John Fisher around and about on the concourse. And if you can't catch him tonight, maybe give him a call at the Rockford Speedway number, 633-1500, and ask for John Fisher, and you can talk to John in reference about getting a wall sponsorship. So either way you'd like to go, you'll be helping the racing here at the Rockford Speedway. Ron Smicky looking to get the green flag as the lights are off our pace car. Here comes Ron Smicky jumping out to an early lead. And the green flag, and we're racing. As the field begins to stretch out, give a couple laps to get some more heat in those tires, and then we're going to see some side-by-side racing as these drivers attempt to pass to improve their present position. Ron Smicky still your leader. Matt Milan in second. Hacker in the 13 in third position. Jerry Guiley in the fourth spot. Here comes Hacker on the inside of Milan. They're side by side and wheel to wheel. Here comes Ricky the Rocket Bilderback looking on the inside of Milan. Milan drops back into the fifth spot as Hacker overtakes him for the second position. Then comes Guiley and Bilderback, and here comes Steve Rubeck with Brad Wagner right behind him. Whoa, Milan a little loose, straightens it out, gathers it back up, and heads down the backstretch. Side by side is Hacker and Guiley now. Hacker and Guiley battling it out for the second spot as Ron Smicky still hangs on to the lead. Here comes Jerry Guiley in the second spot now. Jerry Guiley looking to take over the lead from Ron Smicky. Ron Smicky giving it everything he has to hang on to the lead. They're side by side into turn number 3. Smicky gives way, but now he wants to fight on the outside with Guiley. Guiley and Smicky rub. On the inside comes Hacker. Still on the outside is Smicky down the backstretch. Your new leader, Jerry Guiley in the 99. Here comes Bilderback in the 02. Jerry Guiley into turn number 3, your leader. Bobby Hacker into 13. In second, Ron Smicky in the 3 car third. Bilderback in the 02 in the 4th spot. Smicky a little loose down the backstretch, gathers it back up. Bilderback takes over the 3rd position. Back out on the track is the 31 of Graves. Jerry Guiley, your leader. We're 13 laps into this 40-lap feature event. Jerry Guiley down the backstretch, then Hacker, then Bilderback, and then Rubeck. Wilberg and DeBar and Hansberry battling it out back into the field along with Brian Johnson. The 103 car returns to the track. Jerry Guiley, one more lap under his belt as we're approaching the halfway mark of this 40-lap feature event as we are now approaching lap number 17. The way I see it, race fans, Jerry Guiley, Hacker, Bilderback, Rubeck, Wagner, and then Smicky in that order. Rubeck dropping off the pace. Steve Rubeck out of Monroe Center, Illinois, dropping back behind Smicky, apparently having some kind of problem. We'll check it out further and hopefully pass on the information to you, race fans. But here's your leader into turn number 4 now, the number 99 of Jerry Guiley, coming up on slower traffic. Now this lap traffic, or the slower traffic, could pose a problem, allowing Hacker to come up behind Guiley. But Guiley, being a veteran of the Rockford Speedway, knows how to thread the needle as he makes his way across the start-finish line one more time, as we are now into lap 21. Guiley looking to run away and hide from Hacker. Hacker says, nothing doing. I want to catch up to you, Guiley, but I'm trying and trying and trying. We got Smicky into the wall. Ron Smicky, car number 3, into the wall. Or maybe not, he just has a flat tire. I did not see it happen as I was awaiting or looking at turn number 2. Smicky having some kind of problem underneath. Tough break for Ron Smicky, running real good in the 4th or 5th position there. Looks like the front sway bar had given way. All right, our starter, Tom Powell, tells the field one more time around, and we'll go green flag racing as the yellow flag or yellow lights are off of the pace car. So we'll look for racing action next time around. The field begins to bunch up behind Jerry Guiley, and Guiley looks for an opportune time to put the foot to the floor to accelerate out of turn number 3 and 4. Here he comes. The green flag is out, and we're racing. It's Guiley, Hacker, and Bilderback. In that order, 1, 2, and 3. Jerry Guiley heads on down the backstretch. Bobby Hacker trying to catch up, but Bilderback looking to take over the second spot. A long ways to go as we're at lap 25 of this 40-lap feature event as Matt Milan scrapes the wall as he crosses the start-finish line. Brian Bagwell now falls off the pace on the inside, allowing Steve Rubeck to take over the 4th or 5th position. Jerry Guiley, Hacker, Bilderback, and Wagner in that order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now a challenge on Bilderback from Wagner. Wagner on the inside, looks on the inside down the front chute. They're side by side going into turn number 1 and 2. They're down the backstretch. Wagner takes over the 3rd spot from Bilderback. Wagner beginning to get the bite. Now Hacker moving up on Guiley. Guiley feeling the pressure from Bobby Hacker. Both these drivers veterans of the Rockford Speedway. Guiley and Hacker battling out for the 1-2 spot. It's Guiley, then Hacker, then Wagner, and Bilderback. Returning to the field is Ron Smicky in the 3 car. Nice job by his pit crew. Got him out in a timely fashion. We'll be able to get those valuable points. Guiley and Hacker having a battle up front. Wagner trying to join in on the battle. Here comes Guiley one more time. We're at lap 33 of this 40-lap feature event. Jerry Guiley still your leader. Hacker in second, with Wagner in the 3rd spot, and in the 4th position is Ricky Bilderback. 5 more laps to go
and this 40-lap feature event will be history. Jerry Guiley still your leader. 4 more laps to go as Tom Powell displays the move over flag to the slower traffic ahead of Jerry Guiley. Jerry Guiley, your leader, then Hacker, then Wagner. Here he comes one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Guiley, your leader, takes the white flag for one more lap. A lot of slower traffic. Now watch Hacker. See if Hacker can work the traffic. Look out, Guiley into Bagwell. Guiley and Hacker out of turn number 4. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Whoa! That was close. And from my vantage point, it looked like Jerry Guiley was your winner. Slower traffic playing a very vital outcome, or it could have been, as Hacker kept it to the floor. Was trying desperately to overtake Jerry Guiley that last lap. I have the 5 and drive Frisbees, and our feature winner, Jerry Guiley, as soon as we get him out of the car, we'll toss him up. Jerry Guiley, also known as Jerry the Bullet Guiley. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to this evening's feature winner here at the Rockford Speedway, car number 99, Jerry Guiley. Jerry, real quick here, fantastic run. I'm sure that you felt the pressure from Hacker throughout the entire event, but you had it hooked up, you were in the groove, but the last lap, I'm sure, raised your eyebrows a little bit. Can you take us back?
Yeah, I was kind of concerned with them. I seen they were running side by side, and, you know, you hate like heck to make them guys lose a position, but, you know, we were obviously the lead car, and we needed to get going, and I stuck my nose on the bottom, and poor Brian Bagwell, he was trying to get out of the way, and I seen Bobby, and I thought he was going to follow me, and he went to the top, and I just had to drive her out as hard as I could.
Well, you did an excellent job. Nice, clean driving. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Jerry Guiley. And Bryden Ford and Gilly Sheet Metal are presenting an additional big buck bonus to Jerry Guiley. And tell us all about this award you're about to present him.
Well, Ron and I came up with this idea, and we thought...
Take your program in hand, take your checkered flag, your hat, your coat. Don't take your child, though. And stand up and wave back to these drivers as they parade in front of you one more time for their 20-lap feature event. As we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 cars in this feature event. There they come, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands high in the air as our track officials salute them as well. And we want you race fans to salute back as they wave back to you. Some good-looking cars. The car 110 of Dan Lignell looking really nice. All right, the lights are off. The Pontiac, back rope Pontiac Grand Prix as it accelerates out of turn number 3 and 4 and down on the inside. Here they come out of turn number 4. Kevin Collins and Tom Lundberg battle it out for the lead as they cross the start-finish line. Looks like Collins has the advantage, a little loose going into turn 1, holds off Lundberg for the moment. Look out, we got several cars hard into each other. Whoa! Obviously, a lot of cars involved. Tough break for Swinbank, and that beautiful looking number 35 gets crunched as he was stopped dead in the middle of the track. and nowhere to go was the 34 car who rammed into him. I believe it was the 34 car. Obviously, a few of these cars will be able to rejoin the field. With this happening in the 100 car, brings up the rear of the field along with Morris and the 11 car of Charlie Fritsch. Derek Dobbs rejoining the field. And Derek Dobbs will have to go to the tail end of the field behind the 43 car and 11 car. Congratulations to Jerry Guiley, Kerry Graves, Mike Martindale, feature winners. This evening, the 109 car comes back to rejoin the field, and that's David Lignell. As the lights are off the pace car, the speed begins to pick up with Kevin Collins and Tom Lundberg. Tom Lundberg on the outside, Kevin Collins in the 3 car on the inside. The green flag is displayed, and we're racing. Tim Wilson in the 87 car, the second row on the inside, tries to overtake Lundberg, but slips a little bit coming out of turn number 2, allowing Lundberg to increase his advantage over the 87 car. Now getting a little bit better bite out of turn number 4 is Tim Wilson. The 42 car of Gilbert Brewer Jr. looking real strong on the outside, trying to make the move into the 3rd position. Here comes Kevin Collins. Look out, Kevin, sliding through turns 3 and 4. Hang on, buddy. Kevin Collins, still your leader. Gilbert in the 87 car. Brian Lawson in the 87 car holds down the 2nd spot. Here comes Ron Stoltz in the 147 car. Ron Stoltz in that yellow Chevrolet as he tries to take over the 3rd spot from Tom Lundberg, and does. Here's Paul Urlacher in the 100 car. Urlacher on the inside in the lower groove. Leroy Byer returns to the field several laps off the pace, of course, as Kevin Collins starts to make his move to hide from the rest of the field. Here comes Stoltz in the 147 car. Ron Stoltz in the 2nd spot. The 87 car of Brian Lawson holding off Stoltz, battling it out for the 2nd spot. Collins saying, hey, where's all my competition? They're catching up, Kevin. You better get on the move. Here comes Derek Dobbs in the 5 car. Derek Dobbs trying to give a little tap to Paul Urlacher in the 100, trying to move him out of the way, move him up high or low so that he can get around him. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, that rule, they cannot go faster than 18 seconds. They're really close. Right now they're 18.015, so these leaders got to keep the eye on the clock as Ron Stoltz in the 147 now makes the challenge on the inside of Kevin Collins in the 3 car. Ron Stoltz and Collins battling it for the lead. Here comes Urlacher on the inside along with Derek Dobbs. Once again, slower traffic could play a role in the outcome of this feature event as Stoltz comes up on 2 slower cars side by side, but gets by them. Here comes Derek Dobbs now. Derek Dobbs looking to take over the 2nd spot from Kevin Collins. Collins on the outside. Dobbs on the inside. Dobbs takes over the 2nd spot. Urlacher now challenges for the 3rd spot with Collins as Collins drops back into the 3rd position. Your leader, the 147 car of Ron Stoltz. Ron Stoltz, your leader. In 2nd is Derek Dobbs. Paul Urlacher in 3rd. They're side by side and wheel to wheel going into turns 3 and 4. Now Dobbs takes an early lead out of 4 to hold down the 2nd spot. Ron Stoltz in the 147 car, still your leader, as we're 12 laps into this 20-lap feature event for the Road Runners. Here comes Derek Dobbs on the inside of Stoltz. Stoltz and Dobbs battling it out through turns 4 as they come across the start-finish line side by side. Derek Dobbs and Stoltz. Derek Dobbs and Ron Stoltz still side by side coming out of turn number 4. They've got to be aware of that clock though. They can't run any faster than 18 seconds, as I do believe unofficially the clock is on the leaders. So they're going to be kind of light-footing it here, trying to throttle out of it. Coming out of turn number 4, again, they're side by side, wheel to wheel at 18.154. Five more laps to go, race fans. 5 more laps for this evening's racing event. Derek Dobbs takes over the lead, and he's, well, I did not catch the time. Out of turn number 4 comes Derek Dobbs. Paul Urlacher now challenging on the inside. Very, very close. They're at 18.129 for Derek Dobbs. I do believe was on the clock. Now, Paul Urlacher challenging Dobbs on the inside. Ron Stoltz drops back into the 3rd spot. Watch them now as they come out of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Your new leader, Paul Urlacher, and Derek Dobbs drops into the 2nd spot. Ron Stoltz still battling in the 3rd spot to take over the 2nd spot. 1 more lap to go. Can they do it? Watch it now. They're real close into that 18-second bracket. Derek Dobbs a little loose coming into turn 1 and 2. 2 cars come close to the starter. Looks like Paul Urlacher is your unofficial leader. The checkered flag comes out to Paul Urlacher. Then Ron Stoltz, and then Derek Dobbs having some engine problem as he goes up in a puff of smoke for Derek Dobbs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're leaving the friendly confines of the Rockford Speedway, we'd like to thank you, but stick around, visit the drivers down in the pit area, walk around that concourse area. There's a victory spin for, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, the winner of the Roadrunner feature, Paul Urlacher. And as you leave the Rockford Speedway, we'd like to remind you to drive home carefully.